Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
What is going on, everybody? I go by RB and this is Philly Take with RB. If you guys are enjoying the content of the channel, be sure to smash that like button, and if you're new and want to stay updated on some great Philly content, well, be sure to hit that subscribe. Today we got some more news, some breaking news actually around the NFL. Jamal Adams, that's right, Jamal Adams, safety of the New York Jets, has officially requested a trade to the team. Now, things have been brewing for quite some time. You know, Jamal Adams has wanted this big contract. He wants to be paid like the top safety in the league, and deservedly so. I mean, he's a stud, all right? Jamal Adams, 24 years old, 3 years of experience. Just 3 years of experience out of LSU. Two-time Pro Bowler, two-time All-Pro, and just a freaking stud in that secondary. And I mean, I can't blame him. He wants to get away from the abysmal New York Jets organization. I don't think they are in full rebuild mode. I mean, they're collecting some pieces here together, but it seems like they've tried to work things out, and apparently Jamal Adams just doesn't want to do it anymore. He doesn't want to do it. So as you can see right here, according to Adam Schefter, Jamal Adams would welcome a trade to 7 different teams, which include the Ravens, the Cowboys, Texans, Chiefs, Eagles, 49ers, and Seahawks. Yes, if you heard me right, Jamal Adams would welcome a trade to the Philadelphia Eagles. So, what do you think, guys? Should we trade for him? Jamal Adams? I mean, a lot goes into this. Now, before we get into this a little bit, I do want to say, about 10-15 minutes ago, as you can see this tweet right here from Rich Cimini, who is a New York Jets reporter who did break this news earlier. He says that the Jets have not granted permission and they don't intend to trade him. Had it feeling this would turn ugly, and now it has. But we know what's going to happen, right? Jamal Adams, even if they don't trade him right away, he's going to hold out, sit out, and he's going to end up getting up out of there. It's going to get ugly, like Rich said, but I don't see the Jets holding on to him. Now, let me just say, Jamal Adams, like I said, is a stud, okay? He's a guy that you can put in the box. He's that type of safety. You can move all around the field. A guy who's just so explosive, versatile. I mean, he's just amazing. Makes a ton of plays, can tackle in the open field, and just from his skill set to his personality, he is a leader, and I see that a lot in him. Just being 24 years old, he really has a voice, and he would be welcomed in any secondary. Now, in terms of Jamal Adams, he does have 2 years left on his deal right now with the New York Jets. I think his cap hit next year is $7 million, and then his 5th-year option is like $9 million or something like that. And I did hear, guys, that he would be welcomed, or he would be open to being traded and not signing an extension right away, which kind of echoes what I said a minute ago, in that he just wants to get away from the New York Jets, and I do not blame him. But now in terms of the Eagles, does this make sense for the Philadelphia Eagles? Well, in terms of a skill set, of course, if you want to acquire a top safety in this league, a guy who has so much potential, who's still so young, it is Jamal Adams. Of course, he would make the Philadelphia Eagles so much better. I would argue that putting Jamal in the same secondary as a guy like Big Play Slay, I mean, we would have probably at least a top 3 secondary in the NFL. I don't even care who's over at corner 2. I mean, put a decent coverage guy there, and we have a top 3 secondary in the NFL. I mean, imagine Jamal Adams and Big Play Slay in the same secondary. I mean, we'd be up there with the Ravens and the Patriots, the Steelers, those type of secondaries. But as of right now, the Eagles are, I think, projected to be like, what, $50 million or something over the cap next year. Right now, we have like $25 million in cap space. So in the long term going forward, it would be pretty rough. We'd have to restructure some things. It would be pretty challenging. Probably have to let some guys go. But like I said, Jamal Adams wants to be paid big money as well. And it's interesting because we just let Malcolm Jenkins go. And a lot of people seem to think it was because of that money. Now, I understand Malcolm's a lot older, and we wanted to go younger, but we still did keep a guy like a Rodney McLeod, right? But in terms of our scheme, like I said, Jamal Adams, a strong safety, put him in, maybe let a guy like Kavon Wallace kind of nurture behind him, and maybe even Jamal Adams, I do think he's played some free safety. He could always shift over a little bit if Kayvon shows some potential. I mean, we still got Will Parks and even possibly Jalen Mills. But, I mean, Jamal Adams is a tier above everyone. That's how I see him. And going forward in the future, I mean, he's going to be so good. And imagine, guys, imagine we steal Jamal Adams from the taste buds of the Dallas Cowboys. Like, they've one-upped us with CeeDee Lamb. Imagine if we one-up them back. First, it was us with Goddard. Imagine them getting CeeDee, and then we come back and take Jamal Adams. We know the Cowboys have coveted Jamal Adams for a long time, dating back to, I mean, probably a year or two. I remember at the trade deadline last year, I'm hanging on the edge of my seat saying, please don't let the Cowboys get Jamal Adams, because it would not be good for the Philadelphia Eagles. I think the Cowboys had offered like a corner and a first rounder or something. Now, right now, this what I want to talk about. What would it take to get Jamal Adams? Because not only will we have to pay him, but we are going to have to give up some assets to go ahead and get him. Now, originally, I would say at least 2 first rounders and maybe, you know, a player or another future pick like a 3rd rounder or something, maybe 4th rounder. But at the current time, as we see everything kind of, you know, going downhill, declining, I think Jamal Adams is going to end up going for probably 1 first rounder, maybe a couple seconds, and possibly a player or something like that. I mean, that's realistically what I could see a ballpark of happening. And especially if this continues to go on and we're getting closer to the season and the Jets know Jamal Adams will not play on his current contract, and that relationship just keeps going downhill, I'm telling you. The price will lower, not significantly, given what Jamal Adams is and what he's going to be. Like I said, a 2-time All-Pro already, but I wouldn't be opposed to it. But I also am looking at the long term and saying we would have to make sure he is paid the right way. We would have to make sure, you know, everything else is going to fall into place as well. And we're going to have to really make sure about that cap hit next year. And if we could find a way to figure everything out, I mean, if there's a guy to do it, it is Howie Roseman. I mean, Jamal Adams would be a top tier pickup for the Eagles. Like I said, imagine that secondary. So, man, I hope we could find a way to just snag him away from the Dallas Cowboys, because I know they're going to go hard to try to get him. But you guys let me know down below, what do you think about Jamal Adams potentially welcoming a trade to Philadelphia? Should we go out and give up a bunch of assets to get him? Should we not? Do you think it's expending too much for the future? Let me know all your guys' thoughts down below. Appreciate you for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.
Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.